Da 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 da. Okay, so I know I haven't done or put out a review of what I thought about the second half of Deathly Hallows. I really see it as one really big long movie that they cut into two parts. That, because in my opinion, that's really what it is. The second part, mostly I didn't put out a review because I don't know what else to say except for I loved it. It was awesome. It was so good. Oh my god, this part so good. Oh my god, this so great. Oh my god, Rupert, Emma, Ron, Hermione, their kiss. Oh my god, Daniel is just as perfect as an actor as anybody in his age bracket. He is just almost unbelievable. Oh my god, like I don't know what else to say about the movie except for that. That I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I suppose I could talk about problems, the few problems I had with it, but yeah, I'll save that for another video. But what this is, and it's personal, and I want other people to share this. This is my Harry Potter story, how I got into Harry Potter and how it's affected me. And I hope that other people who see this, my subscribers, will also share their stories. So this is mine. Okay. So when I was in about third grade, I was told about Harry Potter through a librarian, because they have kids go into the library and they're like, oh, these are popular kids books now, and I remember hearing about it and not really being interested. Then then I saw that other people were getting into it, I still didn't care. And then when I saw that a movie was coming out, I just kind of rolled my eyes at it, like, oh my god. You see, I was 13 at that point, but I wasn't interested in children's stories, even though I was 13 and I was a child, because at that point I was watching Buffy. I had watched X-Files for years. I was watching 2020 when I was 13. So, and of course Star Trek, very, very near and dear to me, Star Trek. So I really wasn't interested in children's literature because I thought that it would, say things that I already knew, that I already got from other things that were meant for more an adult audience, which was a level I really more thought that I was on, even though I was so young. So I wasn't interested in this, kiddie thing that was coming out. And especially what really weirded me out is at the time I thought Daniel looked like this weird alien child that looked like this CG creature, and that really weirded me out. I don't think that anymore, but that's what I first thought. Oh, also my sister, who's 4.5 years older than me and has been this ginormous influence in my life. I didn't want to read these kids' books and have her see me as not, being on her level as well, because my sister and I, we have been best friends for a very long time. Like, since I was 10, I could say my sister's my best friend, and even though she was in high school, she wasn't like so cool to be as, yeah, no. My sister, she's just this like little loser who follows me around. No. Anne, my sister, called me her best friend then too. Okay. So then I think it must have been 2002. I remember my sister and I were up north. This was in the summer. We were raiding through my aunt's camping trailer, and we found the first Harry Potter movie. We were really bored. There was nothing to do up there, so my sister's like, whatever, let's watch this movie. So I did, and I liked it. I didn't love it. It wasn't love at first sight with me with Harry Potter, but I did like it. And one thing I remember was the forest scene where with Quirrell drinking the blood of the unicorn in the forest. I remember being legitimately scared, even though I was 14 at that point. And yeah, like, I'm like, oh my god, that's excuse me, actually scary. And I liked Harry and Hermione and Ron. I didn't even remember Hermione's name, though. For the longest time, I didn't know her name. but yeah, that I watched it. I liked it enough. Then whenever whatchamacallit, this was in the fall of 2003. I don't know. Whenever they had Chamber of Secrets on demand, I was at home by myself because I think it was like a conference day or a teacher. I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school then. So it was a teacher's day, and I was at school, or I was at home, and I was flipping through the channels, and I saw on demand that Chamber of Secrets was on demand. And I knew the code to order it, and I ordered it even though I told my mom after the fact, yeah, I ordered Harry Potter. Of course, she wasn't especially happy about that, but whatever. But yeah, because the advertisements for the thing really kind of drew me into it and made me want to watch it. So I did. And what really got me in a big way when I watched Chamber of Secrets was Lucius Malfoy's line of, well, I hope, Harry Potter will always be around to save the day. And then when Harry said, don't worry, I will be, like, something clicked in my head where I thought, oh my god, Harry is Buffy, only a British boy. Oh, that's awesome. So then about a year later, I read the first book, and then I read the second book. It wasn't really till the third book that I really fell in love, though, I don't think, with Harry Potter, because the third book was when I got it. Why people were so crazy about these characters and this world. And because the third book was the first book that I actually teared up and then cried while I was reading it. And I remember the moment. It was in the chapter with Harry doing the lessons, the Patronus lessons with Lupin, that he had heard Lily's voice, and then he heard James, and he afterwards, like, he kind of said to himself that he almost wanted the voices to continue, and then he had to stop and say to himself, they're dead. They're hearing echoes in my head isn't going to bring them back. And that just really hit me, and it made me cry. Not like bawling, but teary, like do maybe one tear. And yeah, I really got into it from there. And by the time I had gotten to the fifth book, it, because the fifth book was already out by the time I read, you know, one through five. I anticipated Half-Blood Prince and I anticipated Deathly Hallows, but I had Order of the Phoenix. Like I was able to then have that book too. But also with that, I actually knew Sirius was gonna die, so when he died, it wasn't a huge shock. It was incredibly sad, especially it made scenes. I remember the first time I watched the third movie, like I dragged my sister for us to, you know, go see Harry Potter, and she did like it. She liked it a little more than she admitted at first, because I was trying to get her to read these. I'm like, Anne, you know, Harry's is just like Buffy, and Xander, or Ron is like Xander, and Hermione's kind of like Willow, and this thing, and this stuff, and these people, and oh, it's so good. And you know, eventually I did get her to read it. Then after she saw Prisoner of Azkaban, and yeah, I remember, because I had like just finished Order of the Phoenix for the first time. Then when I went to go see Prisoner of Azkaban, and you know, that scene with Gary Oldman and Dan, where he said that, you know, it's beautiful. The first, you know, I'll never forget the first time I walked through those doors. Like, oh my God, he dies, and they never get to live together. It's so sad. You know, that I cried. I cried, and my sister looked over at me, and she's like, "Why the hell are you crying, Ellen? You know, what is wrong with you?" So right. And then yeah, for then in high school, Harry Potter was my big obsession. I spent way too much time reading the books. I've read books 1 through 5 10 times each. So I just read them over and over and over again. And although it did parallel in my life, where I remember one time when I was reading Goblet of Fire. It's so funny. There was this situation with my best friend Joe and this girl who liked him. And this girl didn't like me, or thought I was trying to be his girlfriend, so she was a real bitch to me. And that was hilarious to me, because when I was reading Goblet of Fire, like, I was at that part where girls were being bitches to Hermione because they thought that she was both playing Krum and Harry. And yeah, so I thought that you know, oh my God, this is my life right now. So yeah, it was a big part of my adolescence, not my childhood. Harry Potter was. So I suppose I've never called them children's books in my head or to anybody else, because I don't think that they are, and I've never saw them that way. Okay. Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, share stories. Mwah.